After their failure to steal the election for Donald Trump in the state of Georgia, a group of fake electors have started to turn on each other. Let them fight. Let them fight.
My.
Okay. So here are the details. On Tuesday, the Daily Beast reported that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis had written a memo, which in this memo, of course, is a legal memo to a state judge, basically detailing how there's infighting between these fake electors and that their lawyer, who represents 10 out of the 11, should be, should not be part of this case. So, again, more details. According to the memo, prosecutors in July last year had allegedly dangled some immunity deals for alternate electors who were willing to cooperate with the investigations. So Fani Willis, of course, is running an investigation looking into election interference. That's possibly a gigantic problem for Donald Trump, since Donald Trump, of course, had that famous perfect call with Brad Raffensperger when he was asking for 11,780 votes. One more than what we need to win the election. Find me some votes, he says. And then, of course, along with that, you had the fake electors. Willis originally was just looking into that, and then that expanded. So, oh boy. Now, apparently, this defense lawyer is accused of not telling them about that deal. Well, okay, first of all, if you have a defense lawyer that is not telling you about a potential deal that could save your ass, I would fire that attorney. I mean, I'm just saying, that's not a good thing at all. Now, following a special purpose grand jury recommendation in December that the DA seek indictments against some of the people that were involved in this fraud scheme, and that's what it is. These are fake electors. These are fraudulent electors. They're not the real electors, but again, this was part of the plan to try to put these electors in to make the Electoral College keep Trump in power. So it was an attempt to steal this election. And let's keep it real. That's what it's about. So now the investigators have turned up the pressure here and met with some of these fake electors. Now, this happened last week. And, once these investigators were like, hey, did you know we offered you an immunity deal? They're like, what? Wait, what? Hold on. What? You offered me an immunity deal? I never heard about that. Oh, yeah, of course I'll take it. Yeah, of course. And so now the result here is you have these, fake electors that are ratting on each other. It's so good. Yeah! It's so good to hear them fight, to watch them fight, and to turn on each other. You love it. You love it. On Wednesday and Friday, some of the electors stated that another elector committed the acts that are in violations of Georgia law, and that we were not a party to these additional acts. And that's according to Willis in her court filing, which I say, oops. So obviously the lawyer, this could have a big impact on this lawyer. Willis's memo called the situation, quote, an impractical and ethical mess because 10 of these fake electors were being represented by a single Atlanta defense lawyer named Kimberly Burrows Debrow. The DA's office is using the details in order to make the case that the judge should intervene and disqualify this defense lawyer. The DA also accused Debrow of highly unethical behavior. Gee, not a surprise when we're dealing with pro-MAGA lawyers. I mean, they're really kind of reaching the bottom of the barrel here. Okay? Bottom of the barrel. Now, Several of the fake electors interviewed last week revealed that they had never been told about the immunity deals because Debro never conveyed the message. The DA said that failure is in, quote, direct conflict with what Debro's fellow defense lawyer Holly Pearson had told the judge in August of last year. Oh, so lying to a judge. Oops. If this is true, what an absolute and utter disaster. Wow. The DA's filing on Tuesday is the first indication of who might get hit with criminal charges when Willis seeks an indictment through an Atlanta grand jury. That is expected in the coming weeks. Wow. So now the list of these fake electors is apparently a who's who of Georgia politics. I'm not involved in Georgia politics, so I'm not really familiar with any of these names. For example, Mark Amick, Joseph Brannon, Brad Carver, Vicky Concilio, John Downey, Carolyn Fish, Kay Godwin, Kathy Latham, Sean Still, and Chandra Yadav. But Kathy Latham, that name is interesting because what's interesting here is she was previously the top GOP official in a rural Georgia county who coordinated a secret operation to have conspiracy theorists examine local election system computers in early 2021. So they were getting in rando outsiders to take a look at a local election system, basically computers, hardware, software, etc. Uh-oh, that's a violation. So the reporting on that from the Daily Beast led to this investigation. During an hour-long interview last year, Latham had lied about her role in putting together that covert mission, which involved having computer forensics experts charter private planes to the small town and enter a county building to tap into government servers. Oops. Text messages and public records revealed that she was central to orchestrating said plan. So that reminds me, of course, of the case of Tina Peters. Tina Peters also in a lot of trouble. So, and of course, now that you have this Republican infighting, people pointing the fingers at each other, now you have them very, very willing to do that. And also pointing out Debro's connection. The DA argued that this poses a serious risk to the fundamental principle of confidentiality of information. Willis then asked Judge Robert C.A. McBurney to block Debro from any further participation in the case, given that she knows too much about what the others have done. What a shit show. Total shit show. I love it. Now, as I mentioned before, this is just in looking. This is Willis's investigation. What we know so far. There are indictments that are coming, and look, this started with Trump and his phone call, but now we have pretty much a whole investigation into Republican actions and how they tried to undermine the 2020 elections in that state. This wasn't Democrats. No, this was Republicans and Trump himself working to undermine elections. Which, of course, tells me that once again, every accusation from them about, the election interference and you've got so much fraud, and no, every accusation is a confession.